Why 2K clients ghost you but 20K clients ask where can they send your money? Most coaches, consultants and service businesses are not stuck because of lack of skill. They're stuck because they're selling to the wrong buyers. You're pitching 3K retainers to people who panic when Stripe declines their payment, instead of offering 20K growth strategies to clients who are planning 6 figures ahead. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why 2K clients ghost you, yet 20K clients are begging to work with you. So let's start with the real issue that no one talks about. You probably didn't choose your market. It was handed down to you. Some guru told you to help solopreneurs or go sell to coaches. And now you're stuck selling marketing or business growth like a gym membership instead of a capital growth system. Let's be real. You sell marketing or sales help instead of business leverage. You pitch to cash-strapped individuals instead of directors who are deploying 50 to 100K plus per month. You charge 2K and pray for retention instead of commanding 20K plus and earning loyalty. This isn't a pricing problem. It's a market positioning problem. So let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to break down the 3 client tiers in the Vortex method. This is my 4-step system focused on mindset, strategy, marketing, sales and leverage systems, all applied to lead generation. If this is your first time joining me, please remember to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. You're going to enjoy this video and the rest of the content that I've got coming up for you. Tier 1, the bottom, these are the broke buyers, solo coaches and new course creators. They're going to pay you anything from $500 to $3,000. Their behavior is unstable, they're emotional buyers. They treat marketing like an expense. High churn, high drama, no strategic runway. These are the clients who ghost you the most. Then you've got tier 2. This is middle. These are the transactional clients. They're growing consultants or micro businesses. They're going to pay you anything from 4 to 15K per project. They have some understanding of value, but they still are budget aware. Lifetime value can be 3 to 6 months on average, sometimes 12. They need results. They're still comparing you to freelancers on Upwork or their cousin's marketing guy. You can win here, but you're still going to have to do a lot of selling, which is going to move you into a lot of convincing rather than persuasion. Then you've got tier 3, the top. These are the visionary operators. These are established coaching, consulting and training companies. They're generally doing 400, 500,000 a year plus. They're going to pay you from 3 to 10,000 pounds per month, or you're going to have 30,000 plus campaign retainers. The behavior is campaign driven, very strategic and resource backed, meaning they do have money, but they probably have team as well that are going to input into the campaigns that you're going to help them to run, the topics you're going to train them on, or perhaps the consulting you're going to do for them. They're planning 6 to 12 months ahead. They value expert collaboration and often stay for 2 to 3 years. What you're going to find as well is the directors, company owners, the CEOs, they're very direct to the point because they understand where they want to get to. They don't need a lot of convincing. What they need to know is the numbers, the game, and you deliver your results. And this is where the real leverage kicks in. You see, one win here gets you into a network of 5 to 10 others just like them. They're not necessarily following content creators or influencers. They're talking to private individuals, perhaps on the golf course, country club, outings, different things where they're associating with other business owners, investment, equity firms. They're going to be speaking to people who are movers and shakers that can invest at that top tier level. But here's the crazy part. Same exact skill set, same amount of work, but completely different revenue, retention and reputation. At the bottom, you're competing with freelancers and ghostwriters, yet at the top, you're uncontested because most people don't even know that these buyers exist, or they think they're unreachable. How many times have you heard people saying, I hate high ticket prices, or I don't know how to charge high ticket, or I'll always have my prices low. A lot of the times they believe these types of buyers are unreachable, or they simply have fears around actually asking for what they're worth, their real value. But let me tell you something. You see, these buyers, they're actually looking for experts. They don't want just another done for you service. Look at all the agencies out there that promise this. And once they get that retainer deal, it's almost like they disappear into, all of the promises that they had promised at the point of proposal. It's like all of the things that they said would happen. Well, actually now you've become, as the customer or the client, just another person in that agency's business or coach's business or consultant's business. It doesn't feel like there's tons of value, and you miss that connection. You see, they want somebody who can build and run a real strategy and get results and repeat. That's why they'll pay you those handsome sums on retainer. If you're tired of playing small, if you know your results are solid but you're stuck in low ticket loops, it's time to upgrade your market, not just your offer. You have to focus on clients who actually value what you do. So you're going to position yourself as a strategic growth partner, not a marketing assistant, or if you're a coach, you're going to be a strategic coach to the growth or to the improvement or to the efficiency or the effectiveness of that business, not just a coach, not someone who does a bit of head stuff, right? So you need to understand how you fit into that ecosystem to help that top tier client grow. This is what I help our clients to do through our Vortex method. We help them attract, convert and retain 5 high ticket clients in 30 days, all using the 5 pillars of lead generation, which is warm lead generation, cold lead generation, paid ads, free content and JV partners. You see, in my experience, when you understand how to generate leads, no matter what you do, and especially if you're in the market to help people develop their business, or if you're an actual company right now looking to grow your business, those 5 pillars of lead generation are critical to the success of how you go to that next level. The problem is a lot of people spend so much time focused on one when actually they could focus on 2 or 3. And yes, there is a thing where people say, oh, but you should have this approach like the famous book, you know, the one thing where you focus on one thing. But the reality is that there's so many great opportunities when you have the right offers, like lead generation offers, that can be pushed into these different pillars of, for example, you know, free content. Maybe you're creating content on places like YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, right? And you've got your main channel and you're publishing content there. Well, maybe that's just you being able to demonstrate your expertise. But what if you can take that same expertise and say, hey, find a JV partner and say, hey, I'd love to put this content in front of your clients or your audience and do a masterclass or some type of joint, you know, piece of content. Could be like a podcast interview or whatever the thing is, right? Like a collaboration. It may even just simply be an email with some great content and value. Well, you're not reinventing the wheel. You're taking the content that you've already developed because you've been able to use the free content lead generation pillar. And now you're combining that with JV partners who are simply allowing you to extend your reach. So, you know, in many ways, you're taking on 2 key channels to get to market. And then perhaps, you know, let's say you're running really well and doing things successfully. What if you run a cold lead generation campaign on top of that, still promoting the same types of, you know, lead generation offers like a lead magnet, some type of guide, webinar, VSL, whatever the thing is. It could be like a quiz or whatever. If you haven't seen some of my other videos, I do talk about more lead generation offers and lead magnets that you can use, and I'll make sure in the description there's a link for you to get those videos. But the point I want to get to is that it's very easy to combine these pillars because you're promoting the same types of offers, so you're not changing the messaging, but what you're doing is extending your reach. And this is how you can increase the lead flow into your business and get the visibility that you need in order to really grow. And this way, by upgrading your messaging, upgrading your marketing, this is how you're going to get to the point where you're going to limit the 2K clients who ghost you and increase the effectiveness and the conversion rate of those at that 20K plus or whatever your high ticket price is, you know, and getting those people to commit to you because actually they've been looking for experts. It's just that people have always been pitching low and actually making weaker promises or not the right types of promises for a more sophisticated or higher level top tier client. If this has resonated with you and you're in a position where you'd love to actually be able to reposition your messaging, understand how your offer can fit, you know, a top tier or even a mid tier client so that actually you're getting more return from the effort that you're putting in, whether it's money or time, then what I'd love for you to do is click on the link in the description and book yourself in for a marketing strategy call. And it's where we offer a free 30-minute call where we're going to cover the 4 areas of the Vortex method, which is mindset, strategy, marketing, sales, and systems for leverage. What I'd also love for you to do is drop a comment if this has hit home for you, or comment below with the word Vortex, and I'll walk you through how this applies to your business directly. And if you're watching this thinking, yeah, I've been selling too small for too long, then it's time to level up. And remember guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. I've got more breakdowns like this coming very soon, and I'd love to hear what you guys would love for me to break down by commenting below also. My name's Leon Street. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.